welcome back to The 3 Show. We want to start off by thanking all 35 teams and all of the fans who joined us in Blaine for this year's NA3HL Showcase. Per usual, we saw tons of fierce action and great games, in addition to NAHL and college scouts in the building.
This is a great event for the NA3HL players. Again, these guys, the league's a lot about, regional competition and national exposure. And we've got teams across the country that, play the same teams in their division. They get to come here. They get to get ranked and reseeded, so they're playing teams from other divisions of their same level, get to play different teams, and again, get to play in front of the NAHL scouts. And that's one of the most important things about our vertical exposure model. Every NA team, every NAHL team scouts here. There's college guys here. Everything's here for these guys to compete, get a chance to see somebody new, and hopefully earn an opportunity to advance to the North American Hockey League.
Before we take a look at the week ahead, we want to give a special shout out to the 8 organizations who were able to post a perfect 3-0 record while at the showcase, in addition to highlighting a few of their games. Those 8 organizations being the West Bend Power, St. Louis Junior Blues, Peoria Mustangs, Butte Irish, New Mexico Ice Wolves, Texas Brahmas, Willmar Warhawks, and the Minnesota Moose. Starting off with West Bend, Jason Woods and his squad were able to post a 3-0 shutout over the Sheridan Hawks for their second game of the event. 3 different players were able to find the back of the net, but the star of the game was arguably netminder Adam Prokop, who turned away all 23 shots for his 3rd shutout of the year with the Power. West Bend now sits comfortably in first place in the Central with 41 points, 6 points ahead of the second place Grizzlies. The Ice Wolves had a great showing against the reigning East Division champions as they took down the Generals by a final score of 4-1. Zach Wentworth was the biggest contributor for New Mexico's offense, scoring a short-handed goal in addition to notching 2 assists, one being on the game winner for a plus-minus of +3 on the day. With this win, along with the team's other showcase victories over the Blizzard and Great Falls, New Mexico has gone 7-1-1-1 in their last 10 and are currently riding a 5-game win streak. The Warhawks concluded the showcase with an intense battle with the Wild, Peyton Reuter and his squad squeaking away with a 4-3 victory. Willmar was able to get on the board first and would go on to score the first 3 goals of the contest, both Jet Wheeler and Scott Woltman tallying 2 points apiece through the first 2 periods. Gillette would go on to net the next 2 goals in a valiant comeback effort before Mason Wanka would score the eventual game winner for the Warhawks. Now let's switch things over to this upcoming weekend, a light schedule with only 2 matchups per day. Kicking off the weekend will be the St. Louis Junior Blues heading to Illinois to take on the Peoria Mustangs. As we said earlier, both teams went undefeated at the showcase, so it will be interesting to see them return to in-division play. These 2 organizations have played one another 3 times already this season, as St. Louis came away victorious during all 3 contests. The most notable player for the Junior Blues during their previous matchups to be on the lookout for is Mason Andrews, who tallied 6 points against the Mustangs, including a hat trick during their most recent tilt. Meanwhile, for Peoria, newcomer and 2007 forward Wyatt Duke has been on an absolute tear, racking up 10 points while at the showcase. The second matchup of the week and in the Central will feature the 3rd place Cyclones hosting the 4th place Woodsmen. Wausau hopes to build off their final showcase game as they took a huge 3-2 win over the Granite City Lumberjacks. Meanwhile, Wisconsin too hopes to keep things moving in the right direction as they blanked the Badland Sabres by a score of 3-0 to end the event. When looking back to earlier this season, the Woodsmen came away victorious during these 2 teams' first matchup of the year, but the Cyclones would go on to win the next 2, the most recent game ending with the final score of 7-1. Will John Valancourt and his squad find revenge and even up the series, or will the Cyclones improve to 3-1 against their in-state rivals? As always, thanks for tuning in to another episode of The 3 Show. Be sure to follow along our live scores and stats on the website, and we hope everyone has a very merry holiday.